They called it entertainment. But behind the cheers of 50,000 voices, there was a man standing alone in the sand, waiting to die. To the Romans, it was glory. To the gladiators, it was survival. But behind every drop of blood spilled in the Colosseum was a truth darker than any history book dares to tell. This is the story of Rome's greatest lie. The truth behind the men who killed for the crowd and died for an empire. It wasn't gold or marble that built Rome. It was blood. Imagine standing inside the Colosseum, the largest amphitheater ever built. 50,000 people fill the seats, screaming, chanting, thirsty for death. The smell of sweat, iron, and blood thickens the air. Below, two men stand in the sand, their bodies scarred, their eyes hollow. The gates slam shut, trumpets sound, the crowd rises, and within seconds, the killing begins. To the Romans, this was glory, the pinnacle of civilization. To the men in the arena, it was slavery disguised as honor. The Colosseum wasn't just an arena, it was a symbol of control, a reminder that life and death belonged to the empire. And the gladiators, they were its sacrifices. Human beings turned into living entertainment. Every drop of blood spilled on that sand wasn't meaningless. It was a message. Rome rules, Rome decides, Rome kills. The arena wasn't built for justice. It was built for obedience, and yet, the world still remembers them. Not as victims, but as heroes. We forget what they truly were: tools, instruments of fear, and products of a system designed to keep the people quiet and the emperors powerful. Long before they reached the arena, gladiators were chosen, or condemned. Many were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals. Others were desperate men who sold their lives for a chance at fame. They signed contracts that promised death, and yet they signed anyway. They were taken to the Ludus Magnus, the grand training school beside the Colosseum. From the outside, it looked like a barracks. Inside, it was hell. Every morning, they woke before sunrise. They trained until their muscles tore and their skin split. They ate barley porridge, drank water mixed with ash, and slept on the ground. Their masters, Lanistai, watched over them like farmers, fattening pigs for slaughter. Some men tried to escape. Most were caught. Those who were executed in front of their comrades. The message was clear. You live to fight. You fight to die. But here's the paradox. Many gladiators found purpose inside this nightmare. For some, the arena was the only place they ever felt alive, a chance to die on their own terms, rather than live as nothing. They called themselves octorati, volunteers of death. In a twisted way, Rome gave them meaning, but it also stripped away their humanity. They were branded, owned, and cataloged like livestock, and yet the crowd adored them. The people cheered not for freedom, but for violence, because for the Romans, violence was sacred. The Colosseum wasn't just a structure, it was a machine. Beneath its marble seats lay tunnels, cages, and pulleys, a labyrinth designed for spectacle. Wild animals from Africa, lions, elephants, leopards, were kept in darkness, starved before release. At the pull of a lever, they'd rise through hidden trapdoors into blinding sunlight, straight into the arena. Engineers built entire forests underground, mechanical sets that could appear in minutes. They flooded the floor for naval battles, recreated mythological scenes, and staged executions disguised as theater. To the crowd, it was entertainment. To the victims, it was a slow descent into hell. Rome mastered the art of killing and turned it into performance. Historians estimate that over 500,000 people and 1 million animals died here, all for applause, all for distraction. The emperors understood the psychology of the mob. Keep them fed, keep them entertained, and they'll never question the throne. Bred in circuses, that was the Roman way. The sand of the Colosseum was raked clean after each show. Blood was covered, bones discarded. By morning, the arena looked pure again. As if death could ever be washed away, there was profit in death. Every fight was an economy. Weapons, training, bets, food, armor, and bribes. Some gladiators became so popular that merchants sold small statues and oil, lamps in their image. They were Rome's first celebrities, adored by the masses, owned by the few. But behind that fame, there was manipulation. Many fights were rigged. The crowd never knew. If a politician wanted favor, he'd sponsor a grand game, paying for hundreds of gladiators to fight. The more blood spilled, the higher his popularity rose. It wasn't about sport. It was about control. The emperor used these games to project power, and when the people cheered for the death of another man, they were unknowingly cheering for their own obedience. The louder the crowd screamed, the safer the emperor slept. When the sun set and the crowds went home, the gladiators returned to their cells. But within those walls, something unexpected happened. They began to form brotherhoods. They shared food, patched each other's wounds, and whispered about freedom they'd never see. Some fell in love, even though it was forbidden. Others prayed to strange gods, asking for mercy before each fight. And then there were the women. Yes, women fought too. They were called gladiatrices. Though fewer in number, their battles drew immense crowds. To the Romans, watching women fight to the death was the ultimate fantasy and the ultimate degradation. Yet for these women, it was power. A brief rebellion in a world that had already taken everything from them. In the arena, they became more than slaves. They became symbols of pain, of beauty, of defiance. But most gladiators didn't die in the arena. They died later, from infection, from exhaustion, or from despair. Some took their own lives before they could be used again. For everyone that lived to see victory, 100 more vanished, forgotten by history. Buried without names, without glory, their bones lost beneath the city that once worshipped their suffering. As Rome's hunger for blood grew, so did the madness of its rulers. Emperor Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius, believed himself to be the reincarnation of Hercules. He entered the arena dressed as a gladiator, demanding that others lose on purpose. He slaughtered animals from a safe distance and called it bravery. He executed real gladiators in mock battles and charged the Senate for the privilege of watching. His rule blurred the line between performance and tyranny. When he fought, no one was allowed to strike back, because killing an emperor, even in fair combat, meant execution for your entire family. Rome had become a stage, and everyone was acting to survive. Behind the scenes, conspiracies brewed. Senators plotted to end the blood games. Philosophers wrote in secret, calling the Colosseum a temple of madness. But silence was safer than truth. In Rome, even truth could cost you your life. The empire's glory was built on fear, and fear has a short memory. Centuries passed, the cheers began to fade. As Christianity spread through Rome, new values began to take root. Mercy, forgiveness, compassion. The blood games became harder to justify. In 404 AD, a monk named Telemachus jumped into the arena, begging the crowd to stop the violence. The mob stoned him to death, but his death ended it all. The emperor banned gladiatorial combat soon after. The Colosseum fell silent. Sand turned to dust. The empire, once built on blood, began to crumble. Yet the spirit of the arena never truly died. Today we watch suffering from behind screens. We glorify competition. We cheer for destruction. And deep down, we're still the same crowd, hungry for spectacle. The arena is gone, but the instinct remains. Today the word gladiator still means bravery, discipline, strength. But that word carries a shadow, a whisper of what humanity once called entertainment. It's the story of a civilization that tried to engineer perfection and ended up consuming itself. Because when you erase emotion, you erase what makes us human. Rome's greatest fear wasn't weakness, it was empathy. And that's what destroyed it. Strength without compassion isn't strength at all. It's just another form of weakness, wearing armor. So remember, when you walk through the ruins of the Colosseum, you're standing on a graveyard, not of warriors, but of the idea that power is worth any price. And maybe that's the real lesson Rome left behind. This was Sparta. This was Rome. This was humanity at its most powerful and its most monstrous.